there and thanks for joining once more. This autumn season we'll be racing Lamborghinis in A-Class. There are not too many Lambos that are eligible when the limit is a PI of only 800. Unfortunately, the SUVs are. And unfortunately, that is not what I wanted to drive. For me, the Lamborghini Miura caught my eye. I had a tune on it for B-Class and I liked it a lot. So I thought it would perform well in A-Class. Let's find out if that is actually the case in this week's championship called Lamb Chop Chop. And the first race where we will be testing out this lovely little car is the Edinburgh City Sprint. And would you know, take a look at the car list. A lot of people decided to take the SUV. Half of our team in a Urus. One other Miura and one Diablo. How will these small sports cars fare against these big SUVs? Forza already favors them as both pole positions are Uruses. Me, I'm somewhere in the middle of the pack, hoping to shoot my way to the top. As you will be able to see, things start off nice already as the SUV in front tries to ram the other Miura into the wall. Is this an omen for what's to come? Have you ever played on an actual pinball machine? When you get a multi-ball and all of the balls are shooting in all kinds of directions, affecting the trajectory of one another. That's what it felt like. I'm inside a pinball machine and the other cars have just as much to say about my racing line as I have. Nothing too much happening on the straight, but boy oh boy, the next corner you can clearly see the superior racing skills of one of the SUVs. Seems I have been taking these corners wrongly all my life. The next corner you can see that also the other SUV has this superior skill, but the first SUV still has to hone his skills as it slows him down and just in time to stop me completely dead in my tracks. I'm last of the human teams and I get passed by 1, 2 and almost 3 driver cars. Again, the SUV in front brakes and stops me. Also, in the next corner, I can't seem to find a way past him. I want to attempt it in the 90-degree corner by outbraking him, but in doing so, completely overestimate the braking power of my own car. I have to pay for that with a little visit to the wall, slowing me down once more. But here, the track becomes a little bit more technical again, and I hope this will be in my favor. And of course we start by clattering into the back of yet another SUV. I can't seem to get past them. They always appear in my racing lines at the worst possible times. The two SUVs in front are acting more like bumper cars than actual racing cars. And with the big roundabout coming up, I decide to steer clear of them. I brake just in time or I would have been sandwiched between an SUV and a townhouse. A sea of SUVs in front. One of them hits the corner of the building, taking out another one, and that allows me to gain 2 more places. All of a sudden, I'm up in 4th place. Who would have thought that after all of the troubles I had the first half of this race? Certainly not me. I now want to make it my mission to finish before all driver cars. There's no way I can overtake the human players at the front, barring any mistakes from their side. Now in this corner I take the alternative route, which allows me to maintain a higher speed through the corner and also allows me to accelerate that tiny bit sooner, giving me the advantage I need to pass the driver car. He was beside me the entire straight but had to give in before the corner. 3rd place and on my way to the finish line. And I was able to achieve the goal I set for myself. True, I only said it very late in the race, but to be honest, I am a bit surprised. I was still able to pull off a 3rd place in this race. For most of the race, I thought I was going to be near the end when crossing the finish line. Our team had positions 1, 2 and 3, which is already sufficient, but we had almost all points, in part because Forza really is unable to apply basic calculus, but will gladly take those extra points and our well-deserved championship point. Way to go for our merry band of Lambos. And onwards we go to the next race, where we will be racing 3 laps around the Bamberg Coast Circuit. I have very mixed feelings about this. I feel like I should be able to do better in this race. On the other hand, the first few corners can be tricky, especially if there is a wall of SUVs. But luckily, to help with that, Forza decided to put me all the way at the back for my starting position. I will have to claw my way through the pack if I want to achieve any position near the top. Off we go. And, well, I want to take the inside line, but I'm afraid to get pushed out of my checkpoint, so I decide to stay behind the SUV. I'd rather be a little bit slow than lose a lot of time. The SUV thinks he's a pinball, swerving all over the place. And oh boy, look at that back up ahead. How am I ever going to get past that? I have absolutely no idea. Now, staying on the inside, as most of the other cars are hugging the wall like it was their favorite childhood stuffed animal, does get me past a lot of them. But that put me on a collision course with an SUV. And that puts me on the grass and towards a very bad line for the technical section that is coming up next. Not helped by a massive yeet from behind. Pinball time. I really have no other way of describing what is happening in these corners, but again, the line my car takes has little to do with my steering input. I survived and I only lost one place. However, if those corners would not have mimicked the inside of a pinball machine, I would have been able to pass more cars. At least that is how it felt. First corner, I receive a very gentle, friendly tap on my rear from what appears to be a slightly bigger car. No one saw that one coming, right? My hard-earned place gone with the wind. Two SUVs in front, and we have that tight corner coming up. I hope to pull off the same move, stay on the inside and pass them. I get it done for the first, but I correctly judge the swaying of the other one and duck on the inside of the long right-hander. Now all I can do is hope to get enough of a lead so that I can make it more or less cleanly through the technical section. Looking back is scary, so I take the inside line as much as possible, hoping to duck away from those big SUV pinballs. And I can. Look at the minimap. It seems they are having another multi-ball in their pinball machine, but luckily this time I was not involved. Back to the straight, and again I hope to have enough distance between me and the Uruses, so I don't get another friendly nudge in the first corner. And I do not, and this time I can. For the first time in this race, keep my car more or less on the ideal racing line, and doing that allows me to pass one more drivatar, which puts me in third place, with one drivatar still ahead of me. Again, I want to finish before all drivatars, so I will be gunning for that last Urus in front of me. I think I have nothing to fear anymore from behind, so I can finally concentrate on getting that pass done. But that car has quite the distance on me, and I have very little lap remaining to do anything on. These corners should see me getting closer, so I can start homing in on him. And I do get rather close, but it seems it is just not enough to be able to catch him. I do get a better run out of the corners, but the dash to the finish line will not be long enough for me to be able to catch him. And that leaves me with yet another third place. But this time behind the drivatar. Oh, the humility. But still, we get more than enough points to get another race victory, which gives us another championship point, and this already secures our championship victory. Since there is very little honor to be gained during these pinball races, I will try to just have fun and try my best to beat all of the SUVs. The other Miura has won the previous two races, so I guess he has been able to dodge all of the pinballs during his races. And of course he might also be a far better driver than me, as he has started near me in the previous two races. It seems that he's better in dodgeball, while I'm better in pinball. We now go to the next race, which happens to be the very short and very twisty Horizon Festival circuit. This time we do not start near one another, as Forza decides to put him on the front row and place me near the end of the pack. So winning this race will be rather difficult then, but I will try to beat all Uruses. That is the goal that I set for myself for this final race. There are 5 SUVs in this race, and fortune is with me as the 2 people behind me both drive a Urus, so I only have to catch 3 of those pinball cars in order to achieve my goal. Look at that pinball go, or maybe it was bowling, I don't know anymore. I'm on the inside, but fearing for my life. I do get a nudge, but this time it did truly just that, a little nudge, so the Urus actually drove properly. I thank the Forza gods for this. But the gods are fickle beings, and they repay my prayer by sending their emissary right back in the side of me. I must have been a sinner. The SUV is back to his pinball skills, and I can avoid him, which brings me right on the track of the next SUVs. This is not to the liking of the gods, and a small touch does weird things to my car, and that makes me hit the wall. Still, 1 SUV passed and 1 final to catch. This corner allows me to creep up to him, and in the sharper left-hander, I finally get able to pass him. I'm up in 2nd place and have achieved the goal that I set for myself. This time I actually said it before the race and I was able to achieve it. The other Miura already seems out of range, but this race is not over just yet. Or is it? For sure, we have some time to look at the tune. Just like the tune from last week, this tune was created by Don Juan Song, and it is called Perfect A-Class. Now it might not be perfect, but I must admit that I really liked it, and the car is very stable. It features decent statistics, so if you can avoid SUVs and are skilled in dodgeball, give this car and tune a chance for this trial. You'll not be sorry. I have done this trial again later the same night, as I really liked it and came in 1st, 2nd and 1st again in those races. So the car really proved himself. It was just a lot of bad luck during these races, but it makes for a fun video. This lap and a half I was not really catching the leader, but he was also unable to get away from me. I think we were pretty similarly paced. But then again, he wins, and this time I have a 2nd place. All things considered, I think I did another good job this Lamb Chop Chop trial. We have the first 3 places, so that is a certain victory right there. But other people are also scoring points, and even the 2 teammates in the back are able to score points. But I think the driver made a small boo-boo as he does not finish. Now, 3 races this championship, and all 3 races won by the human team. This proved to be a rather easy trial. Even with cars pinging off walls left, right and center, we were able to win. Lamb Chop Chop not only completed, but also won with 3 victory points, and this awards us the very beautiful Auto Union Type D. I really like those very old cars. And if you really liked this video, then please do me the honor of pressing the thumbs up. Leave me a comment on how you feel about the turn of events these races, and maybe even consider subscribing or clicking one of the videos linked in the video at the end. For now, I bid you farewell, and I hope to see you next time.